Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. On the agenda tonight, we have Robin Trower and we're going back to 2006 and he's going to be playing through Daydream. So let's get Robin and the guys up on screen and see how they get on.
With the world beneath our feet, and the sun smiled on the water, where the skies of the ocean meet. Spellbound, he was spellbound. We were listening down the rainbow as the leaves fell to the ground. And the wind laughed at the sound. We were spellbound. We were spellbound. We were spellbound. We were spellbound. We were children in a garden, where the flowers kiss the sky. Oh, the birds sang out and wondered.
I'm just going to jump in here because it's a spellbinding performance so far. We've got so much headroom in this sound, and the way that Robin plays and throws in the classic fill shapes that he does, the amount of space that he leaves in there. I always say about top guitarists is that they know when not to play just as much as they know when to play. And Robin's one of those guys that will put in exactly what's needed for the situation, for the composition, especially with a track like this, because we're going for over 10 minutes, but there is never any point at which Robin's going to be overplaying or playing too much for the particular section of the song that we might be in. And just having these fill shapes and the little lead lines that are going on just really do complement Davey Pattison's vocals here. And just a shout out to Davey on vocals, because such a great vocal and solid, so much expression in there, always in control. And there's a reason that Ronnie Montrose's got him in the band Gamma, because of this vocal performance, and considering that this is only just over 10 years ago, so still has that quality of tone in his vocal, and it makes the whole song come together when you've got a quality vocalist, but also somebody like Robin just laying down these fill shapes, but also playing so atmospherically within the track. And Robin, who is known for tone, he's certainly got a great tone here. He's on that neck pickup of his Fender Strat, and it gives such body to the sound. And it's interesting how Robin even started playing Strats in the first place, because he was on tour with Jethro Tull, and he turned up early for a sound check, and Martin Barr's guitar was just lying there, his Strat, so Robin picked it up and started to play on it, and he said himself that he then let out a shout saying, "This is it," because he'd found the guitar, he'd found the sound and what he wanted his guitar to play like, so then converted to Fender Strats after that. He was playing Les Pauls up until that point. And a lot of people that know Robin's playing already will know about his Univibe sound, which is something that he used to use in the past in order to get his tone, and now he uses the Deja Vibe, and he plugs that straight into his distortion pedal, so that's how he gets his unique tone. And because the tempo is so slow on a track like this, it means you get a real appreciation of the conscious playing of a guitarist like Robin, which means that he is making decisions on the fly about what he's throwing in and the variations on the fills that he's playing, but also when he starts getting into his lead work, because it's not just a set amount of muscle memory scales that he's just throwing together, and because we've got so few notes coming at us, it means that we can analyze all of those notes individually, but also hear the expression that Robin is putting into each of them. Because what happens if you're hit by a conveyor belt of notes one after the other, they're too fast to be able to analyze. You just hear it as a block of noise almost, whereas players like Robin have that ability to make you feel something about a particular note, but also give a note a personality, so it communicates on such a deeper level because you have time to digest it and analyze it. And a really important aspect of being able to hear all these tiny details within the playing is the tone, and it is the clarity of the tone, and also of course the clarity of the player himself and the technical ability of the player himself as well. And the tone here is overdriven to a point, but it's still super clean in terms of not having loads of reverb or delay that's going to repeat the note and maybe mask the expression. That's something that sometimes does happen when you have delay set to maybe a quarter of a second or half a second. It means that that note that you've previously played is now going to infringe upon the next note that you played because it will echo in the background. But let's get back into it.
As the day went sailing by, we were spellbound. Whoa, whoa, we were spellbound.
I'm just going to jump in here because I'm just going to watch it until the end otherwise, because this kind of conscious playing is really my preference in terms of listening to guitarists and hearing where they go and how their mind is working and where they take the melody, but also that lead guitar playing journey. And Robin's one of those guys. I love the way that he blends in the blues scale in there as well, but also he goes to his fair share of natural minor scale in there. And it's such a cool change to put that in there. And having the control, that is the most important thing. And we do have some faster passages that Robin throws in there just to vary the playing a little bit, just to keep it interesting. Also, we've got such expressive bends, also pre-bends in there as well, and a fair amount of sliding. So Robin combines all of these techniques in order to get that well-rounded sound and to keep that interest the whole time. Another thing I want to point out quickly, and it's something to look out for if you don't play guitar, but if you want to see a quick mistake and how quickly guys like Robin deal with mistakes. Look at 4 minutes and 30 on this video, because he just makes a change too early up the semitone and then pops back down again once he realizes that he's made that mistake. But it just goes to prove that everybody's human, and everybody, when they play live, might make a mistake. And every top guitarist does. It's just that you don't notice. And you have to really be on the ball in order to spot it. So I've just pointed it out for you if you didn't spot it, but no doubt you watched this whole video and didn't see any mistakes along the way, because it is a fraction of a second that top players are so great at covering mistakes to the point where they can make a mistake sound intentional. And that's the thing about people that play guitar and maybe do it as a hobby, and they think, oh, these guys are so good, they never make any mistakes. It's not the case. It's just that you never notice it. The better you get at playing guitar, the better you get at covering your mistakes and not reacting. How many times have you seen a band when they've played something incorrectly and they all look at each other, or they stop playing and it totally ruins the whole performance, they have to start again? That doesn't happen when you're used to making mistakes, because you become so used to it that you can cover it up and nobody knows that a mistake has happened. And I think just practicing making mistakes gets you better at dealing with mistakes, and then nobody notices. It's when you're not used to making mistakes because you maybe don't play as regularly as professionals. It means that when you make a mistake, it totally throws you off because you haven't had that thought process in your head before. Whereas when you're used to it, it's just like getting used to anything else. And the way that Robin plays his chords, but also then transitions into his fill shapes, that's the art, because he knows exactly how much space to leave between that chord and also the fill shape, because it's so easy to just overplay the fills so that it's just constant noise. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have time to look at this whole video, but the link's going to be in the description below, so you guys can check out the whole video if you want to. And if you do play yourself, looking at a track like this, because of this slow tempo that we've got, it's a great example of how to apply your fill shapes, especially with the expression that Robin puts in there without overplaying. But thank you so much for suggesting this video for me to take a look at, and keep those suggestions coming in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!